Dara, excuse me. Do I get to see my brother, or do I have to come back with an attorney?
Interrogation room. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have permission to see my brother.
He's all yours. I'll be right outside. Hiya, Barbara.
Hi. I'd hug you, but...
Yeah, they probably slapped those silver cuffs on you. Take you out of here. You look beautiful. You must be in love.
I'm worried about you. What are you gonna do now?
Prove I'm innocent. Thanks for coming.
What's up?
I need new counsel.
You've got counsel. Scott Baldwin is an excellent attorney.
He's blowing the case.
I disagree.
You're not in the courtroom. You can't see the jury. They're rolling their eyes. He does nothing to inspire confidence.
He's doing the best he can.
To get me convicted.
Max Scorpio has a rock-solid reputation for fairness. You, on the other hand, escaped the country after you were arrested. You add circumstantial evidence to this, and this does not look good for you.
There's no body.
How am I going to get you to grasp this? Murderers have been convicted without the victim's body being found. Scott needs to focus his defense someplace else.
Why? I'm innocent, Alexis. I'm innocent.
Prove it.
How?
Scott needs an alibi.
I don't have one. I told you that already.
Where were you, Luke? You know what? This trial is not going well for you.
That's why I want a new attorney.
You're not getting a new attorney. Where were you?
It doesn't matter. I don't have any witnesses.
Are you worried that someone will be hurt if this were to become public? Because I am big on loyalty, I really am, but you really need to ask yourself this. How is that person that you're protecting going to feel when you end up in Pentonville?
I'm not going to Pentonville!
Then tell me where you were the night they say Stefan was murdered.
Don't you think if I had an alibi, I would have told you already?
Clearly not.
I would have!
Then you are in big trouble.
Then it's time for me to testify!
Absolutely not.
What else have we got?
Do you have any idea what kind of impression you would make if you were to take the stand?
A damn good one!
Dare
I'd tell the truth. I'm innocent.
Say something to provoke you and you would react badly, I might add. You would be cocky, you would be smart-mouthed, and the jury would come to the conclusion that you have no respect for authority, which you don't. And then your fate as a convicted murderer would be sealed.
Oh, please.
You can't do it, so just drop the... Oh.
I can hear you in the hall.
Well, I suppose that wouldn't be very difficult when you've got your ear pressed to the door.
I agree that it's a poor choice for Luke to testify. I've already proved my case, but if he wants to make it airtight, then me.
You know what? I don't know, but did you have any understanding that the two of us are having a discussion here?
You were barred as Mr. Spencer's
I
counsel.
was barred from the courtroom, not from having a private conversation in a private conference room.
That's not the way I understood the judge's ruling.
Well, you know what? Then we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
I'm going to see to it that Mac refuses you visitation.
You do whatever you need to do. You go ahead and try.
Watch me.
Hi. When did you get back?
Just now.
So what are you doing here?
I'm here to support Luke. And I would have been here a lot sooner if someone would have let me know what was going on.
Guard! Hello? Anybody home? I'd like to go back to my cell, please. Lunchtime, I hate to miss that succotash and squirrel stew.
Not going anywhere yet, Spencer. You have another visitor.
Oh, no, the sideshow's over for today. Tell him to go home.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I always find our time together so stimulating.
I bet you say that to all the guys on death row.
Oh, what a pity to see you in such a sad state.
Do I look sad?
Well, fearful would be a better word. You know, the entire town seems convinced that you will be convicted. I must admit that I'm going to miss you when you're locked away. I could consider visiting, but then a penitentiary seems so vulgar.
Well, why don't you hang on until the jury brings back a verdict before you block out your winter schedule?
How touching. You're actually holding out hope for an acquittal.
A vial of poison in my safe, Helena? Keys to your yacht in my desk? These are pretty heavy-handed measures for a frame-up, even for you.
Oh, Luke. Now, if you honestly did not kill Stefan, then I'm afraid whoever did frame you and... Don't look at me. Whoever it was did an excellent job of securing your imprisonment. For life. I can't tell you how it distresses me to see you like this.
Oh, darling. It distresses me to see you at all.
So cynical.
If Stefan is dead, I have no doubt that you killed him. And I'm not complaining. I mean, I would have preferred that you dropped him a long time ago.
I wonder how your family will react when they hear the news of your conviction. Your daughter's much too young to understand, but lucky.
Yeah. Tell me, Helena, what will Lucky think?
I imagine he'll greet the news with relief. But Lucky still seems to be quite bitter towards you.
I will get out of here, darling. Either legally or otherwise. And when I do, I'll find you.
Oh, Luke. Promises. Promises.
Okay, so let me take a wild guess. Luke ordered you and Scotty and Roy and, what, everybody not to tell me that he had been captured and that there was a trial starting?
Mm-hmm. Because he wanted to spare you.
Well, at least he's consistent. I mean, if it were up to him, I'd never find out about anything that happened in my family until, what, 10 years after it happened.
Yeah. How did you find out?
Amy.
Oh. Yeah. Well, actually, I begged Luke to let me tell you because he needs all the support he can get.
Amy said that the trial was going against him.
Well, so far it's only been the prosecution. The defense starts today.
Yeah, I tried to call Scotty this morning. He was already gone. How confident is he?
Laura, you should talk to Luke.
Why? Okay, all right. I'm sorry I asked, but you know what? He is still my husband. I mean, technically, anyway. He's the father of my children, and I still love him, Bobby. You know what? I want to be here to support him.
Well, before court starts then, I think you better talk to him.
Why? What's going on?
You should probably hear that from him.
Okay, I'll find him.
The defense calls Mrs. Felicia Scorpio Jones.
Raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give the court and the actions shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Mrs. Scorpio Jones?
I do.
Be seated. State your name for the record.
Felicia Scorpio Jones.
Do this. Don't do this. Ask her about my character or something, but just get her off the stand.
Your character stinks. Miss Scorpio Jones, how do you know the defendant?
We're close friends.
As a close friend of Luke Spencer, how would you describe his relationship with the alleged deceased?
Objection.
I'll allow. But stay on point.
With Stefan Cassadine?
Not friendly, but I am confident that Luke would never harm Stefan.
So, Luke never expressed any intention of killing Stefan Cassadine?
Never.
And you know for a fact that Luke did not kill Stefan Cassadine on June 9th, isn't that right?
Positive.
You're positive that Luke was nowhere near Stefan Cassadine? Why are you positive? Felicia, why are you sure that Luke Spencer did not kill Stefan Cassadine on the night of June 9th?
Because Luke was with me all night.
What events transpired that led you to be with Mr. Spencer that night?
My husband and I were in the process of divorcing. He was very upset. He was threatening to file for custody of my children. When I ran into Luke that night, I was more than upset. I was hysterical.
And how did he respond?
Luke told me that I needed to go someplace to calm down. I knew that he was right because I would only make the situation worse. So he checked me into a hotel and he stayed with me until he knew that I was okay.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce into evidence a receipt. The Cosmopolitan Hotel, dated June 9th. Room taken in the name of Orphe Goodlove. Marked as Exhibit M.
So ordered.
Orphe Goodlove. That's the name you registered under that night.
Yes.
No further questions.
Cross-examine.
Definitely, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mrs. Scorpio.
Scorpio Jones.
I stand corrected. How long have you known the defendant?
Known him? It depends on what you mean.
What I mean is, when did you meet Luke Spencer?
Objection. Irrelevant.
I will establish relevancy if counsel will stop interrupting. For now, I'll argue foundation.
Overruled. You may answer.
I'm not exactly sure when we met. I think it was sometime in the early 80s. I've only gotten to know Luke as a friend within the last year or so.
Since he's been separated from his wife?
Yes.
By the way, were you separated from your husband when you got to know Mr. Spencer?
No.
When you met the defendant all those years ago, were you attracted to him?
Objection. Relevance, Your Honor, over and over again.
Counselor?
I'm trying to establish a connection between the defendant and the witness that goes far deeper than her testimony so far would have us believe.
No, you're trying to cast aspersions on the witness's character.
I'll draw the conclusions here, Mr. Baldwin. I'll allow some latitude, but don't push your luck.
Get her out of this. You're the one that got her into it.
No, you got her into this.
Do you recall the question?
The answer is no. I wasn't attracted to Luke.
When did that change?
Your Honor.
Withdrawn. You said that you were getting a divorce from your husband. Was that your choice?
No.
Your husband wanted the divorce.
Yes.
Why?
Because he thought I was having an affair with Luke.
What made him think so?
There were trips out of town.
Plural.
Yes.
You left with the defendant more than once.
Initially, he was helping me with my book.
But you left with him more than twice?
Yes.
How many children do you have, Mrs. Scorpio Jones?
2 girls.
And how did they feel about the custody issue?
Upset, of course.
Did they ever mention to you their preference for where they would rather be?
With my husband?
And were you actually served a petition for custody?
Yes.
When was that?
June 9th of this year.
And was this the same night that your daughter stated their preference for custody?
Yes.
And are we to understand that you were served with custody papers by your husband, your daughters were upset by your own admission, and yet somehow you ended up with Luke Spencer that same night?
I was very emotional. I left the house to find my husband, to talk to him, to beg with him, to plead with him, to take me back.
But instead, you ended up in a hotel room with Luke Spencer. Did you have sexual contact with Mr. Spencer? Would you like for me to repeat the question? Then answer, please. Did you have sexual contact with Luke Spencer on the night of June 9th?
Yes.
Did that contact include intercourse?
Yes.
Please speak up.
Yes! Luke and I were making love at the Cosmopolitan Hotel the same night that Stefan disappeared. That's why I know that he is innocent and he didn't do it.
Are you a promiscuous woman?
Oh, come on!
You're out of order, Mr. Spencer.
No, she's out of order, Your Honor! Please!
Control your client or I'll have him removed.
Are you trying to blow this, you idiot?
Proceed.
No, I am not a promiscuous woman.
I didn't think so. So that must mean that your feelings for Mr. Spencer are very strong.
Was that a question?
You left your family on several occasions to be with the defendant, and you committed adultery with him. Wouldn't it stand to reason that you would also lie for him?